you think, D? Fart? Fart or no fart? Let's do this so I can read. How about that? Before we decide fart or no fart, let's get my glasses taken care of so I can read. You want to do that? Because I kind of do. I kind of want to be able to read my shit. Read my stuffs. Hello, coucou, comment ça va? Ooh, yes, yes. We are alive. Everybody's alive out there. That's good. Nobody died. Good, good, good. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Howdy, Mr. Naughty Priest. Thank you again for your generosity on the last show, my friend. You kept it rolling. Mr. Naughty Priest, also always a staunch supporter and a great guy. Everybody in here, fluff him. Get up under there, tickle the balls, just a little, like that. That's the motion. Roll them a little, roll them around. You know what I'm talking about. Get to work. Get to work. Dick Dom. Oh no. Oh no. Took a break from Muppet Treasure Island. Oh. That's a good movie. That's a pretty good Muppet movie. It might be the best Muppet movie, honestly. I don't know.
I kind of feel like having a beer. Do you want one?
Yeah, I want a beer. Let's have a beer. Isn't that what adults do? When they're stuck, pissed off, nothing they can do about it. Just fucking toss back a beer. Let me put some lotion on first. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
You got your sody back there too, still.
I do, thank you. Howdy, Poland. ¿Cómo se va?
A while since you had canned beer.
I know. Tastes pretty good. It's a Modelo. It's a Modelo. Or 4 beers. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I've got beers. I've got all the beers. Got beers for days, weeks, months worth of beer. You probably already know, but some crazy stuff is going on right now. Well, I'm like out of the loop, man. I've been living out of a hotel waiting for my fucking shit to be delivered. I don't really, like, the news doesn't really tell you much news, you know, when you're just watching the TV news.
I've been doing more trash TV than TV news.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys want an update on storage wars or cheaters or catfished or forensic files? Okay, I can let you know what's going on in that world. But yeah, they still make catfish. Well, they still show it. I don't know if they still make it, but they still show it. And sometimes when you're flipping through your basic cable at your shitty hotel room, it's the best thing that you got. You know what I mean? Looks like you have a beard under your beard. That's, yeah, I do. I mean, it's growing back out. Look, I'm done with this look. Okay? It's gonna hang out for a while, but once it's gone for good, okay? I can send it to you on Twitter. I don't know if you want me to post it or I don't really care, bro. I don't really care. If you're talking about the Marshall Manson shit, I'm aware of it. I guess I'll make a statement about it. You know, I was always cool to Marshall. I was always chill with Marshall. Like a year ago or something, he had a big meltdown at me, and I told him, like, I don't know what this is about, but still a fan of yours. He came back months later, made a big apology video. He and I have been chill. As far as I know, we were chill right up until a fucking day ago. Like, dude was in here. He's still modded here. But I'm a once bitten, twice shy type of guy. You know what I mean? I got nothing horribly against the dude, but I can't be his mental health counselor, and I can't be his I clearly can't be his friend. So, yeah, sucks, but. And that's my speaking on it. I would say that if you care about Marshall at all, you might not feed into his shit, because I get the feeling that there might be some mental health stuff going on, but that's cool. That's my plan. So refer to that for answers. Kind of a sad state of affairs. I saw that video, dude. He provided screenshots and was coherent. Okay. Then go do whatever you want with the video, my friend. I'm just saying that, like, there have been now 2 times, apparently, that I've wronged Marshall without doing a thing to him. The last major interaction I had with the dude was inviting him to come down to fucking Thanksgiving. So, there you go. It's best to leave him be and move on. That's my plan. Fetching. TV fetching. Sounds like that's all you can do. Nope, haven't seen the video that he did. Don't plan on watching it. It's a little odd to me to have somebody that I had no reason to not consider a friend all of a sudden flipping the script and doing YouTube drama shit. And, you know, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm a nice guy. I do nice things for people who are nice to me, and I've never been anything but nice to him. So I'd rather not see him, you know, it just doesn't do anything for my faith in humanity to see a person who, like I said, I was always chill with, flip the script for no reason. So whatever the content of the video is will be a mystery to me, because I don't care. Maybe on DP soon. Yeah, hopefully. I don't have any plans, but me and Ben have been playing fucking phone tag. Mostly my fault, by the way. I'm just a shitty person to get a hold of, but I've been in the middle of this move, so there's not really much I could do.
We're crafting a little video or episode idea yesterday, and that might be part of what's the video, like notification fatigue.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some things. So my last like patrons only episode was Paul Explains It All, where I talk about some unfalsifiable beliefs that I hold. And this one I think I'm gonna call it Paul Fixes It All. And I'm gonna talk about some things that just need to be gotten rid of, things that shouldn't exist.
Phones ding ding, and every 2 minutes is one of them.
Yeah. You've been crazy busy. When you think you'd be set up in your new pad? We're hoping, sometime this weekend. So tomorrow or the next day. So I guess not this weekend, but either this weekend or the beginning of next week. That's what it looks like. Missing you now that it's safe. What were your neighbors doing? Nothing. Nothing that I'm aware of, anyway. Fighting and bickering at each other a lot. But that seems to be pretty typical for an American household. At least in my experience. Like, my current experience is not that, but every experience I've had before that, there's been a lot of fighting and bickering in the American household, you know?
I'm sure you had gossipers about you, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you should have heard them go at each other last night. For sure.
Now it's just, you hear that guy ranting and raving in his backyard all the
Yeah.
time.
Hear that dude talking about farts in his backyard all day? What is this? The system is falling apart. You try to communicate to Andrew, or did he block you? Dude, did you not hear me say that I've said what I'm going to say? And that if you care about the dude, you might not want to feed into it. So you're going to be timed out, and when you come back, you're going to have a new topic. We cool? We cool. You're an American treasure. I know. I really am one of the most American things you'll ever run into in your life. It is true. I cannot deny it, okay?
The only thing that would make you more American is if you were sipping a Bud Light instead of a Modelo.
Nah, Modelo's American as fuck now, too.
Yeah.
We stay, it might be hecho in Mexico, okay? But it's consumerado in Estados Unidos. Yakima, Washington. You nailed it. Dead on ball. Everybody that's guessed has guessed right. I'm in Alaska. I'm in New Mexico. I'm in Virginia. I'm in South Carolina. And I'm in Alaska. Well, I already said Alaska. I already said it. And now I'm in Yakima, Washington. I'm everywhere. Florida. Yeah, I'm in Florida as well.
Were you watching that same episode of Cheaters we were watching that was also in Yakima?
Oh, there was a Cheaters episode that was in Yakima, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a double feature. Someone was a catfish twice. Oh, yeah, it wasn't Cheaters, it was Catfish.
It was Catfish, yeah.
Yeah, it was this gay dude that pretended to be a woman twice to lure straight guys.
Yeah. Cricket. Oh. You're going to get in trouble, Cricket.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you, Cricket. You're going to be in trouble.
Go finish your can. You got a perfectly good can up there. You don't gotta be rustling looking for scraps.
Oh, Cricket.
These boys are getting restless in this hotel room.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think we're all starting to get a little restless, but that's okay. We're nearing the finish line. You seem cool with the right vibe. I try to keep the right vibe. I'm telling you, this whole move situation, if this had happened to me 5 years ago, I would have been pulling my hair out, screaming. I'd have probably fucking cussed out 9 or 10 different people at the moving company. But, I feel like I've handled this pretty fucking well, I'm not super stoked that I'm not sitting in my nice new house yet. Like, that's not exactly my favorite thing about this period of time, but other than that, we're okay. We're all right. It sucks, but we're chill. You know what I mean?
We still have a roof over our head, even if it's a hotel roof.
Yeah.
We've still been eating, even though it's been shitty fast food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got food. We got food. We got drink. We got a roof. We got our boys. Things could be a whole lot worse. I'm the mayor of Sheboygan, and I don't know it yet. Fuck. Why are you in a hotel, if you don't mind me asking? Waiting for our stuff to be delivered. So we had a moving company move all of our stuff. We're moving to an area that's kind of, you got to go through the mountains a bunch of times, and it's been snowy, and it's been shitty, and the moving company is shitty, and that's why we're in a hotel. Hopefully, one of the last nights we'll be here, but we'll see. NorCal, yep. You got me. You nailed me. Colorado, yeah. Fuck, dead on balls. You guys are all correct. I'm everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. I live everywhere.
I was between buying a mattress for $500 or just spending $500 more to stay at a hotel. It's like...
It's fucking retarded. Yep. Atlantis? Oh, I wish. Michigan. Yeah, I'm a Michigander now. Sandwich, Illinois. Yeah. At least you didn't have to survive the latest hurricane in Louisiana. Dude, I've missed like 10 of them since I left Louisiana. Papa bless. I've been hurricane free for almost 5 years now. Yeah.
I'm at one Cali one. It was kind of close, I guess, but it was hitting more the San Diego area.
It wasn't a real fucking thing either. I guess it kind of was, but... Michigander. Yeah, that's what they call them, right? That's what they call you if you're from Michigan. You're a Michigander. Weed, California. Ooh, I would move there. Because it's very, well, no, maybe not, because it's very cold. It's very fucking cold. Looking like a fool. You want to say that shit to my face? We call Michiganders from the Upper Peninsula Youpers. Oh, Youpers. Yoop. Yoop, yoop.
Why wouldn't you just call them uppers instead of youpers?
That's a question. Youpers. Sounds like a slur, but I assure you we think highly of them. Oh, okay. Well, good. Be nice to the Youpers. Paul went back in time to steal a jade statue. Yeah. Youpers.
I was saying they're the Guardians against Canada.
Yeah, they're the fucking last line. You know what I mean? The last line of defense. You better be nice to them. They might just let them Canucks in when they invade. Dude, can I tell you guys something? I don't want to be, Mr. Trump. I like a Trump policy or anything because I know everybody will freak out about that. But if Trump actually makes Canada the 31st or the 51st state, I'm going to fucking do a backflip with joy. Dude, I'm a globalist, bro. I think we should have made Canada and Mexico the 51st and 52nd state like 20 years ago. I'm ready for this. I'm ready. We need to expand. That's what we need. It's time to expand. So you guys are I'm gonna cheer him on if he's. I don't think there's any functional way for him to actually get that done. But if he does, I'm gonna be backflipping. Okay, I'm gonna be backflipping. All right.
They gotta invite Scotty to announce it.
Oh yeah, Scotty should be the one that announces it. Yeah. Yeah, Planet America, bro. I'm here for it. I'm here for Planet America, 100%. Let's get Puerto Rico in, finally, as an actual state, not a territorial state. Let's get it in. Let's make it a state.
Guam, all that
Let's
shit.
get Guam in
American
here.
Samoa.
Let's get Samoa up in here. Let's get Easter Island up in here. Let's get it all. I want it all. Anything that we have in Southeast Asia that we've been there since World War II, it's just ours now. Okay, we're just going to take that. South Korea, client state. 57th state, South Korea. Welcome. Welcome.
Japan, kind of client statey too.
Oh, Japan's 100% a client state. We pull our money from Japan, they go underwater immediately. We subsidize Japan to the tune of like $100 million a year. Yeah. 58th state, Japan. Okay? And fuck it. 59th state, Ukraine. You want to make sure that fucking Russia never fucks with Ukraine again? Make it the United States fucking first territory in Europe. It's the 59th state. There you go. Planet America. Let's do it. You get South Korea. Yes, Mr. Naughty Priest. You get South Korea. Never mind. That's true. We'll give that to you, and then that'll save us some money for one of these other places.
Yeah, for Japan. I mean, Japan, South Korea, 6 and 1, half dozen of the other, right?
I mean, kinda, yeah. They kind of like they talk the same, they kind of look the same. They eat kind of the same stuff, like a lot of rice.
They build kind of the same stuff.
Yeah, have same kind of sort of religious beliefs and such, you know? They build kind of the same stuff. Yeah, yeah. And they're certainly all like from the same culture, if you go back far enough. So, may as well just do it. Too many liberal Europeans would ruin our constitutional freedoms. How are they going to do that when they're a state? They're a state, man. They're under our umbrella now. Do you know how many fucking Americans would move to Ukraine immediately if it became a state? Dude, we would Americanize because that place is like, dude, having talked to some people from Ukraine, having talked about Ukraine and watched a lot of stuff about Ukraine, they're right on the cusp of American anyway. They're just right there. All they need is a little push and they're over the cliff. You know what I mean? They dress like us, they talk like us, they listen to our music, they watch our movies, they love to use our weapons. They've learned to do that well, you know? They're hoorah as fuck. They want to go die and fight. We like that. Let's just make it. We're going to own them for the next 10,000 years anyway because of the Lend-Lease program. We may as well just like actually make it real on paper. You know? Make Zelensky the governor over there. Governor Zelensky. That's it. We're making space. Australia not being a state, or burn our land, avoiding it. Yeah, Australia, we don't want it.
New Zealand, though.
We want New Zealand, but we don't want Australia. Yeah, you guys can have Australia.
New Zealand's like us. They're the only other country with drug commercials.
That's true. Yeah, they're the most American country then. Ask your doctor about AstraZeneca. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like, what is even usable in Australia? Let's be real. Because I'm telling you, New Zealand looks like Hobbiton. Okay, it's a hobbit hole come to life. It's perfect. All right.
1 billion sheep.
Yeah, it's got tons of sheep. We love sheep. But like, Australia, you guys, the entire interior of your country is impassable desert. What do we want that for? We got plenty of that. We don't need it. We don't need it. You guys can be like, you know how Puerto Rico is now? That'll be you guys. Hell no. Hell no. Kangaroo meat is the next revolution. You think so? Maybe. I mean, if it turns out that kangaroos are delectably tasty, then we might take you guys. we might take you, because as far as I know, we can't really get kangaroos anywhere else. It's like you guys.
We could get them.
I mean, we could probably like breed them ourselves and stuff, but they better be fucking tasty though. That is a good point. We could do that. We could just turn Australia into a giant solar panel or something. Yeah. Yeah. But that's down the road. That's down the road. I do think that America needs to claim Antarctica now. Just quit pussyfooting around, because it's going to be a tropical paradise in about 50 years. So we may as well get it. Make that the 59th state or something, you know? GMO Kanga, yeah. McDonald's already serves kangaroo meat. No, it does not. No, it does not. DFF's for president. Yes, yes.
I don't even know when the last like major imperialist made a run at it.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been doing this like soft imperialism forever, where we send troops over, we blow up their government or murder their leader, and then put a friendly guy in there, and we kind of do like a client state type of thing. You know what I mean? And the last one of those that we really snatched was the Middle East, right? Iraq and Kuwait.
But we haven't like actually captured anything since Hawaii, I don't think.
Yeah, we haven't like claimed any shit and been like, hey, we're taking this shit right here. We haven't done that in forever. And there's some easy ones too. Like Puerto Rico would become a state like that. And think about like, I know the weather in Puerto Rico is horrible, but it's still beautiful there. Dude, it would open up their economy to like, let's get Jamaica too while we're at it. Let's get Jamaica. Let's get Cuba. Come on in, Cuba.
A giant prison that we've just kind of stuck on them like a big tick.
Yeah, come on, Cuba. Let's get down there. Let's get down there. Haiti. Yeah. Yeah, take it all.
Yeah, we're all mad about Haitians coming here. Let's just take all of Haiti.
Let's take Haiti.
The whole Haiti.
And then we can start talking about South America. Because once we got the Caribbean sewn, which I don't know why we don't have the Caribbean sewn up, but let's get it. Let's get the Caribbean. Yeah, Haiti. I want Haiti. I want the Dominican Republic, Bermuda. I want it all.
Panama.
Yeah. Well, see, that's where we need to just start moving south from there. So it's like we get Mexico. Dude, Mexico is almost America already anyway. So we just get Mexico. And we start working on Central America. That's our land bridge. And then we can start dealing with fucking South America. We can start making some deals. I take Brazil, take Colombia, take it all.
They had kind of a Trumpy kind of leader.
Yeah, they like Trumps down there. We got a Trump right now. Come to our Trump. We love cocaine. That's what they make down there. Let's get it. Right near the beach. Boy.
Did you ever do like the cut chug out of these before?
Oh, you're talking about what do they call it? Fucking shotgunning? Yeah. Oh yeah. I've shotgunned a million beers. That just used to be the way we did it back in the day. Get your car key. That's how you do it. Cut a little hole in the side, crack the beer, and tip your head this way. That creates a carb out of the top and lets that beer just flow right down your throat.
Let the fizz kind of come out.
I mean, the fizz goes right down your throat with everything. It
like lessens it with having a little hole to go through.
Yeah, shotgunning beers, man. Oof. Many a a late night started with shotgunning beers.
You probably haven't even done that in like 15 years, huh?
Shotgun to beer? Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. It's probably been a fucking hot minute since I shotgunned a beer. Maybe we should shotgun a beer.
Oh, make a big old mess here.
We'll lay down some towels and shotgun some beers. Weed is greater than alcohol every time. That's a good point. That's a good point. I might take you guys down the old stepperoonies and have myself a little weed-a-rooney here in a minute. Put you guys in my pocket. We'll go down into the parking lot and have ourselves a little bit of a toke. In fact, let's just do that. I'm going to do that now. I don't see any reason why not to.
You gotta go.
Yeah, in the fucking pocket. I don't want to hear any bullshit. Got a key? Hey, Bill. Already got friends in the hotel, man.
Been here for like a solid week now.
I know, we're like residents now. Yeah, there's definitely some folks that are staying here longer term, and I've met a few of them. They're pretty chill people. I thought he made Bill up. Nope. I don't need. I like that's something that like people like I think wrongfully assume about me, because I like to tell stories and stuff that I make a lot of shit up. I don't. Like sometimes I do, I guess, but you know, Bill's a good guy. For some reason, I could see Paul living the motel life. Oh, I mean, I think I fit in well visually and you know,
I mean, there are some
philosophically.
advantages, like no utilities,
Yeah, no utilities, no cable bill, no internet bill.
always hot water usually.
Hot water always for free. You know what I mean? Pretty fucking, you know, like I can see why people use it that way, and I can, you know, it's definitely for like for a person that's like maybe more frugal or minimalist, it would really be good.
No commitment.
Mm-hmm. No commitment. You know what I mean? Yeah, you pay, I assume maybe monthly, and if you decide you're leaving, nobody cares. No deposit or approval process other than, yeah, you got to have a card or whatever that they can put on file, and then that's all it is. It's no bullshit, no hassle, no landlord, no garbage, you know. Just works out for people, I guess.
Free cleaning.
Free cleaning, yeah. That is true too. And a lot of bonuses. You're talking me into it. I mean, you know, it comes with the downsides too. I mean, you've got one room, basically. Two, maybe, if you count your bathroom as a room, but it's the tiniest bathroom you'll ever see. You know what I mean? If you got pets, that makes it more expensive, and it's less place for them to be, you know. Although, you know, walking down or here is not much different than walking in when I lived in an apartment. So,
It just depends what your situation is, if it's the best fit for you or not.
Yeah.
It's not a one-size-fits-all solution for sure.
I think it's a really good, like, what I would call, like, stopgap option. So if you're moving to an area looking for work or trying to be closer to family, but you haven't got everything lined out yet, staying in a hotel for a month can be a really fucking good stopgap. If you're retired, right? And you don't need the type of room that you've got, and your mobility is kind of limited maybe a little bit, this is a really great kind of stopgap place. And places, you know, like I presume this place as well, but hotels will have different rates for different lengths of stay. So if you're looking to do a more long-term, month-to-month kind of arrangement, you're paying less than a person who drives up here looking for a room for the night. So, you know.
And we probably would have gotten a deal if we had just booked this whole week straight up.
Maybe, yeah. A little better than we got, but we'd have done that. We'd have been like Nostradamus if we'd have done that. Hotels kick you out if you stay too long.
I mean, it depends on the hotel, I guess. Like, if it's like a super upscale one, they probably want to keep the rooms rotating.
Maybe.
Now, this one, every time I wanted to extend, it was like, okay.
They were like, all right.
Bring down your keys and we'll rekey them so it works.
Yep. Oh, I got the smokes, baby. I'm high. I don't know how that happened, but it
Now
happened.
you're crossfaded a little bit. Maybe not off of one beer, though.
One beer is like having a glass of Kool-Aid for me. Hotel Weimon have great music and stories. Hotel Weimon? Okay. I will tell you about that though. There's like it's a zero judgment kind of place. You know what I mean? Like everybody's kind of at the same level here. You know? We're all in between. And so people tend to be a little bit more like neighborly than I've experienced other places as a result of that, because, you know, a little camaraderie, a little solidarity in life. Paying $600 in SoCal just to have a 6 to 10 roommates, halfway house. Not bad. Not that bad people here have saved up for a home down payment. Yeah. No, I know. I mean, that's, you know, there are options outside of the stereotypical. And to be honest with you, a lot of them are probably just as good as any other option as long as you're able to make it work. Like this wouldn't work for me long term because content creation is really hard when you're living in a hotel.
Yeah, like I'm just basically sitting next to you and staying quiet during the show.
Right. It's like we did like a 5-hour show the other night, and Amelia really had two options, like leave and go somewhere for 5 hours, or sit there and, you know, put her headphones on and do nothing for 5 hours, right? Like having a place where I work and where she can be doing her stuff is necessary for living. At least from my perspective, it is.
Pets are getting stir crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we all are kind of getting a little stir crazy. It's been a while since we've been down here. And knowing that like 10 minutes away we've got a really nice house that we could be in is just, you know, it's one of those things that really would have galled me way more, I think, when I was younger. But I'm trying to be, I don't know, less resistant studio in my area would have a 2,500 minimum, plus I'd have to make a 4x in income to even get it. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I mean, I would like, just the nature of my job precludes me from choosing to live in a place like that at the level of income that I have. I could see myself maybe thinking like, oh, it would make sense for me to be in LA if I was 10 times bigger than I am, right? Or 20 times bigger. Like, be in LA, be in New York, be somewhere that's like you can get people, to it easily and collab easily and all of that. But at the level that I operate at and stuff, it does not make sense for me to be looking at the more expensive areas of the country. In fact, it makes sense for me to be looking at the opposite. So, because, yeah, man, I don't know. I've been just feeling like, and I think this is maybe just a part of getting old, but I feel like I hardly recognize the United States anymore. Like, so much of what I assume about the United States is wrong and just outdated information. It's just me assuming things are the same as they were 20 years ago, and they're not by any stretch of the word. I'm not saying everything is fundamentally changed and unrecognizable, but a lot of the basic type of interactions and stuff that I do on the day-to-day has so fundamentally changed, right? Going to a mall is like a fucking eerie experience now, when it used to be like a really annoying, people-packed, bustling kind of experience.
We went to go piss in a mall
Yeah.
when we were charging.
It was like deserted in there. It was fucking insane.
And it wasn't even that late. It was like
No.
7 or something.
It's like 7 o'clock. Yeah, we pulled up to a mall that had an EV charger, and we were charging up and taking a piss break. And I went in first to like scout out where the bathrooms were, and I went in the wrong door and had to make this big loop and like walked through most of that ground floor of that mall, and there were like 5 people in there, customers. All these stores open, staffed with people, and it's like the holidays too. You know what I mean? It was like last week, so people are like back in, like, from my perspective, that mall would have been packed out. It's like a Tuesday night or Thursday night or something, fucking 2 weeks before Christmas. But, and I'm not trying to like paint too much onto that one experience. I'm just using it as an example, right? I just don't recognize things anymore. The price, not to be a crotchety old man, but like the price of fast food is just obscenely, like, I can't even understand it. It makes no sense to me that they would still be operating, but yet I help them, right? I eat the fast food shit, so. Just a weird place. Really enjoy the combos with Destiny. Thank you, Paul. Oh, okay. Why are you calling why is your name Gnome Chumpstony? Are you a Destiny hater? Don't hate Destiny. He's a cool guy. He's a little eccentric, but I like eccentric people. I pulled this term from this movie that I really like called The Smartest Guys in the Room. Guys with spikes. I like guys with spikes. Or just, I guess, people with spikes. Just gonna... Vegan Gains is eccentric. Yeah, I didn't say I liked all eccentric people or all guys with spikes. I just find them interesting. Vegan Gains is tough for me because I think that he lacks basic human empathetic response. And I'm probably an over-empathetic human being. Probably makes our interactions interesting, but...
When you prioritize chickens over kids, it's kind of a
when you're...
non-starter.
I don't even think that he does, but the thing is like his philosophy is so at odds, right? Like he will be impassioned about the treatment of animals and how they are, slaughtered and abused in meat processing plants and factories and farms and stuff, right? And then he will come up with every, bullshit excuse in the book for why babies should be blown up in Palestine, right? It doesn't make sense. I can't mesh those two things together, and I don't think he can either. And so, it makes that topic kind of like not that great. I don't suffer fools in conversation. You know what I mean? And I think that's foolish. So. Oh, back in the pocket. Hello, boyos. Hello, boyos. You like being in my pocket? Well, maybe you'll get to go in my pocket again when I go smoke again.
Cool. Oh, you want to close it because crickets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, I forgot. Crickets.
Another beer?
Sure. I'll do another beer. A lot of people think dogs are worth more than humans. Sure. I don't think it's about worth more. I think it's about having a consistent ethic. If you're going to so highly value the lives of chickens and sheep and goats and cows, one would think a commensurate value would be added to innocent people. It would be one thing if I were talking to Geegan Veins about factory farming, and he was saying, yeah, I think it's horrible, but here are all these reasons why it has to continue. I would see that as being kind of a consistent ethic across the board leading into the IP stuff. But there's a huge shift in gears when we go from talking about one situation to the other. And when it comes to valuing life and basically valuing suffering, putting merit on suffering, if you have an inconsistent ethic, it makes me question things that you're not going to tell me, right? What's really behind this? Why do you dehumanize this group of people and not this group of people? Why are these children not worth preserving, but these are, right? You're never going to get to the bottom of that with a person who's got some sort of inherent bigotry occluding their ability to talk about a situation. And that's how I feel about Keegan Veins. I don't brook that type of shit. I don't like that type of shit. And that conversation was going to go nowhere good. Sinatra's trying to figure out my time zone. What time is it, buddy? It's sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight. I'll tell you that much. Shh, don't tell nobody. Yeah, keep that little piece of information on the low. What's your internet going to be like in your new place? Better? It should be around the same. I had really good internet before, and I have really good internet now. So, yeah, it should be pretty much the same.
We just gotta get the cord.
Ooh, well, I got to try it out and see if it's hooked up the way I think it might be.
Do you think there's a way to do it regardless of if you can do it yourself or not?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are a number of different things that I can do myself, and a number of different things that I think Xfinity would probably be able to do. It's just the
I mean,
main.
like before committing to put the desk.
Yeah, I can try out some different stuff. Yes. Yeah. And I'll be able to get it up and running and working one way or the other. I was on.
You weren't even wired in for like the first year we were in
Right.
the house.
Right. So, I've still got all that wireless capability and shit on the computer, so it's no big deal. We'll get it figured out. I've got a long ass Cat 6 that I could just fucking drop down maybe through a vent or something. A lot of times vents are just connecting the top floor and the bottom floor in houses like that. I'll just have to look. How much sleep am I running on? A lot. A lot of sleep. Do you guys think you'd go viral again? Kind of feel like you guys are very underrated in the podcast game. I don't know. What the dog doing? What are you doing, D? Somebody wants to know what you're doing. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? That's what he's doing.
You don't like camera.
He's camera shy.
Tried to get him to say hi to TJ and Scotty when you were doing an episode the other day, and he was just too stupid.
Too stupid. Too dumb. But yeah, no, to answer your question, as far as the virality thing goes, I don't you know what I mean? I think it's possible, but it's probable. I don't know.
The kind of shit that goes viral now is not necessarily what you guys do.
No. And I don't necessarily want to be the type of creator that follows whatever trend is going viral and getting all the views and shit. I mean, if I wanted to do that, right, I would stop doing entirely what I'm doing now, and including Onion Nuggets and all of that, right? And we would do a drama podcast where it's literally just covering YouTube creators and their interpersonal relationship drama, allegations, and this and that, right? That would be one way to go with it. Or we could go hardcore debate lord, politics wonk guys, right? Where we're just trying to get on every show and get in an argument.
Or you go the family route.
I can't even
That's
see it.
That's the most viral shit.
It's true, yeah. The fucking goofy little cooking videos, goofy little my wife and I going to the park videos, goofy videos of the dog.
Like, I follow one pretty large gaming creator, and he had to censor the fuck out of himself to get as big as he is.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just like, it's a choice, right? It becomes at a certain point with YouTube's content creation guidelines being what they are. You either choose that you're going to do something pretty much outside of them, like just relying on them for hosting, and that's what we do, or you're going to have to change up the way that you make content 110% to conform, and you got to be ready to do it again too, because having been a YouTuber as long as I am, what they expect and what they will allow to be monetized has changed probably 2-3 dozen times since I started doing YouTube in 2007.
Yeah. If anything, at this point, I mean, that's not blowing out of the water is what's keeping it monetized. Because the bigger it gets, the more eyes get on it.
Right. Yeah. Back then, YouTube used to think as long as the content was engaging, they would put ads on it, aka drama channels, etc. Then advertisers started to hate it. Well, it wasn't even that. Advertisers didn't care until it became a social media moment.
Yeah,
where people were like, "Oh,
your ad
I
is
was
next to this Nazi video."
I was watching this Nazi guy talk about exterminating the Jews, and there's a Pepsi ad." You know what I mean? And when that started blowing up on social media, the companies panicked and basically canceled their ad buys almost entirely with YouTube. That was the first adpocalypse, right? The first of several little miniature adpocalypses.
Ascendant at that time.
Right. Well, I mean, like, we were too.
Yeah.
See, like, here's the thing. In 2014, 2015, 2016, the stuff that was drawing the most live viewerships and the most interactions and the most donations was the drunken peasants and stuff like it. These quasi-political, edgy humor kind of shows.
Joe Rogan.
Very Joe Rogan-ish, where we, cover things from, and I mean, like, that, I don't mean to rip off the original DP thing, but we covered things from an altered perspective. We were unabashed and open potheads. Nobody was presented as, like, please take us seriously as any kind of fucking professorial expert or whatever the fuck. We're a bunch of stoners. We like talking about stuff tangentially. We like arguing with people, and that was huge, right? But what it gave birth to was a bunch of shit. A little bit of it you can still see today, like what remains of the online left on YouTube, right? And the way that they do things, which is live streaming and then cutting up those streams, all of that started then, right? But the other end of that political spectrum was the far right kind of dudes that were like, "Ooh, we got a spot where we can say," and even back then they were very like careful to not say certain words. There was no N-bombs. They wouldn't outright say that they wanted to kill the Jews. It would be like, "Oh, well, what are we going to do about the JQ, right? The Jewish question." Or, using this Kekistan thing, the Groiper kind of icons to, like, soft signal that you're a white supremacist without coming right out and saying it. But that shit was just huge in I want to say like 2016, 17, 18, 19, maybe even. Maybe right before 19 was when it started getting cracked down on, but that shit was fucking huge. You used to be Kekistan, Paul. If you actually look into it, you'll find that it's the exact opposite. Like when Kekistan shit was ascendant, I took huge amounts of shit from the right-wingers in our audience because I thought it was retarded. And I made fun of it constantly. So you do a little homework on me, you'll find one thing: consistency. I may not be right about everything, but my positions on things are consistent, and when I change my positions on things, I explain why. Yeah, I made fun of Kekistan morons constantly. So that's one of the sad things about DP, is because we gave birth to a genre that gave birth to a lot of left-wing and right-wing commentators, but we've been swept up in the right-wing end of things because back then, and even now, we would talk to anybody. You know what I mean? We had right-wingers on. We talked to Sargon back when he was huge. You know what I mean? We'd have left-wingers on. We had Kyle on all the fucking time back in the day. Right? But yeah, no, I took lots of heat in the community for making fun of the Pepe Kekistan bullshit. griper shit. So it's just like, dude, you come in here like flinging fucking knowledge that you don't have. Just shut up next time and sit back and listen. It was Joe Rogan before Joe Rogan. Yeah, but it was different though. Joe Rogan is just like one-on-one conversations mostly. Sometimes he'll have 2 or 3 people in. But most of the time, Joe Rogan is one-on-one with an interesting person. That was not our show. Our show was 3 to 4 dudes, sometimes with a guest, most times not, covering the news and lolcows and politics and, you know, just philosophy and movies and music and pop culture and all this shit, right? And it just so happens that all of those lenses became important in the like kind of identitarian politics movement that has taken over, right? People are looking at scrutinizing movies for being too woke, right? Scrutinizing movies for having right-wing agendas, and scrutinizing music for the same. And it's just everything is now through the lens of politics. The lens of politics hovers over all other lenses, and all other lenses are focusing light from that main lens right now. I fucking hate it, because I think certain things, even if they are explicitly political, should be set aside and looked at differently when it comes to art. But I don't know. Why did you get so much shit from Milo? I always thought you made it interesting antagonizing him instead of blowing him. That was exactly why. At that point in the history of Drunken Peasants, because we were willing to talk to these right-wing people, we had a huge audience of right-wingers that had latched, because like where else was Milo showing up on YouTube? You know what I mean? And not just that, but so candidly, right? So we drew just this huge kind of wave, his audience, right? And there was crossover there. There were probably people that were a part of his audience were already part of ours, right? And I never once, you know, in fact, I had the conversation with the guys months and months before the Milo episode about me being, you know, just like my politics are going to make people fucking hate my guts on the show. You know what I mean? They just are. It seems like we've got a pretty healthy and vocal fucking right-wing audience going on. And I'm just going to kind of be the opposite of that. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking, you know, leftist through and through. And it was.
Also just didn't give a fuck about Milo either.
Well, that was another problem too. Is like I don't really. This is something like I don't want to get too deep into it, but a lot of people go like make a big deal out of me talking to Destiny. But I think one of the things, if you're interested in the things when I do talk to Destiny, if you find yourself interested for one reason or another or entertained, and one of the reasons for that is that I don't really care. You know what I mean? I honestly don't care that Destiny is like probably the biggest streamer in the world. Maybe it doesn't register with me, and because I'm not a big, I don't know, dude. I just don't fanboy over fucking content creators. It's just not my thing. And so Milo, I hardly, like when I did the Milo episode, I hardly knew who the fucking dude was. I'd seen him before. I think we'd covered maybe something crazy he said on some episode way back when. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he was all about and shit. And so when I met him, you know, we kind of had this kind of like friendly sparring thing in the, I think it was like a Skype call before the show. He and I were going back and forth on that. And then I kind of kept that energy going into the show where I was kind of like, you know, just a little foil for him. Keeping it hot, keeping it fucking contentious when it needed to be, keeping it funny when it needed to be, you know what I mean? And man, when I left that show feeling like, dude, I did a good job there. That was good. That was a good show. You know what I mean? Because it's not the typical fucking, you know, everybody sitting around letting Milo run his mouth type of show. It was interesting. He got drunk. He said some pretty wild shit. You know what I mean? And we got heated, and it was fun and dynamic and entertaining, and it really was all those things. But the reaction, giving people the direct and permanent feedback of a comment section, right? They're going to just unload on every little perceived disagreement, right? And so I remember like the next day waking up and reading those comments and going like, I expected that there were going to be some salty motherfuckers, but it was just like wall to wall, fire Paul, he's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit. And I felt pretty bad about it until I talked to TJ. And I was like, yeah, man, I read the comments on that. And he was like, yeah, I know, great, right? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, not for me. He was like, no, trust me. He's like, there's more comments on that episode than on the last two that we did already. He's like, you did exactly what you should have done. He basically reassured me that that was the, like, they weren't retarded. They brought me on for a specific reason, and I did a good job at doing what I did, you know? But it's, you know, it seems to be something that I'm just kind of like naturally gifted at. The whole lightning rod thing, because I really, maybe I don't care as much as other people do about my credibility or how I'm perceived. I just don't see that as part of my job to be this fucking professorial resource for people, but you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm probably good at that part of my job, if nothing else. Some people think having a conversation equals platforming hate. Yeah, I know. I love how he asked you to not be on the show to come back. That was a good one. Same with VC Mario, I think. Yeah. He TJ was trying to get him back on. This was a couple months later. I'd been living in Texas for a while, and TJ said, you know, yeah, I'm getting Milo back on, blah blah blah. So be prepared for that. And I was like, cool. I was excited to go at him again, you know, because we like, aside from it all, us being contentious and everything, I thought Milo and I had a good rapport when it came to like being sparring partners in that arena, right? And so I was chill with it. I remember asking TJ about it a couple months later, maybe, and I was like, yeah, when's Milo? And he's like, oh, he's not coming on. He tried to fucking pull some shit. He was saying like, I'm not coming on if that Paul guy's there. And I just basically told him to go fuck himself then. Like, it's my show. I have on whoever I fucking want to, so go fuck yourself. I was like, oh, thanks. You know what I mean? That's cool. And it wasn't even about like at some level me. I don't think for TJ, it was more about like, who the fuck is Milo to tell me who I can put on my show? Like, you can just say no, bud. That's cool. Milo fears you. He has every right to fear me. Like, if you go back and listen to the Milo episode, I started the line of questioning and I asked the question that got played over and over and over and over and over and over again in the wake of him being like kicked out of CPAC and all that. So he has every right to fear me because I stood tall in the face of his probably like brightest, shiniest moment and ended up coming out of the other end of it looking like fucking roses. So if anybody, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to say I'm totally responsible. Milo is responsible for Milo's downfall, but he has every right to fucking fear the shit out of me. Obscure right-wing podcast, yeah.
Didn't he apologize for saying that?
What?
Obscure right-wing podcast.
Oh, Jake. Well, yeah. Well, he wasn't the one that said it because he wasn't there that night. But I tweeted Jake Tapper, and I was like, "Hey, Jake Tapper, thanks for labeling a bunch of leftists alt-right on your show last night." And then I tagged the drunken peasants in there and everything. And he responded to me on Twitter saying, I wasn't even on that night. Like, I wasn't even fucking on the show that night. And I responded back to him, like, what was behind the guy who was sitting on your show? Because I thought it was like Tapper at 10 or whatever the fucking dumb name he had going on. I was like, you put your name on something and you spread misinformation that could, hurt a fucking small podcast like ours when we broke this story for you. And I think it was like 2 shows later, we'd like to make a retraction. The Drunken Peasants podcast was labeled and blah, blah, blah. And you gave us a fucking retraction. So that was nice. Quick question. If I join the merch tier tonight, are there signed Tomat posters still available? I don't
even think it's open to join right now.
Yeah, I don't even think it's open to join right now, bud. Like, because the cycle has to be preserved so that we don't lose track of. We'd be shipping things every day. We only open it up for certain times, and I'm 99% sure that the merch tier is not even open to join right now. But
It's a question to ask Scotty, like ask on the Patreon messages or whatever.
Yeah, I would do that. Riley is like on the next show, try and get my attention or whatever, remind me, and I'll ask Scotty because he's the one that stocks all of our stuff, and I don't know if he sent out all of the posters. There was a certain amount that we did. I don't know if he sent them out all, and if we plan on offering any more as a signing bonus in the future. He kind of runs that end of things, so we'll ask him. Those Tomat plushies are so cool. Whoever came up with that idea deserves a bonus. Yeah, dude, that was he's a neat little guy. He's a neat little plushy Tomati. And that's why I saved my money to get the merch tier for a year. Let's see. There you go, bud. Yeah, the merch tier thing was just the way that they work was hard for me to wrap my head around at first, but quite a few people have joined up, and we send out really cool merch, so I really enjoy that part of it. I like that. I was a merch tier skeptic at first, but I think it's a good thing. Well, I mean, we do, like, here's the thing. I don't know if it'll be a poster. I don't know if it'll be this, but we have done quite a few and probably will continue to do quite a few signed things for our merch tier and for sign-on bonuses and for loyalty bonuses and all that kind of shit. And so your chances of getting plus, fingers crossed as well. We're hoping that this year we're going to have at least a couple of U.S. meetups in 2024. So you'll also have the chance to come see us in one of those, possibly. And we sign everything, titties and asses included. I think I signed, I can't remember how, I had 5 or 6 pairs of titties at the last one, and 1 butt, or 1 leg. I think it was like a thigh I signed. Hope you guys come to the Northwest. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Sign any balls yet? No. No one's asked me. I mean, they're going to have to do their own stretching. I'll sign it. Look, dude, I got no compunctions, but they're going to have to do their own sack stretch because I will not stretch, okay? They can bat wing it, but they're going to have to do their own bat wing because I can't be holding one side and trying to, nah. They're going to have to arrange their own bat wing, and then I will sign it. If that's how they feel about it, that's what I'll do. I was in Vegas the night y'all met up there at a concert to attend that night. Damn, dude. You should have just, like, cruised by the venue after the concert, because we hung out in the parking lot for quite some time. The Batwing, dude. Yeah, that's what it is. That's from that movie Waiting. It's like a Batwing because it's all veiny, translucent. Super duper mega neon unicorn powered mega dragon beam Chinese ray. Super duper legendary ultra mega rare neon tubular mega dome blaster 9000. What? You said what? Waiting could never be made today. Oh no. No, that dude, I'm surprised that a couple of the people from that movie aren't just like canceled now. Like Ryan Reynolds was in that movie and he's like, you know, almost America's sweetheart these days. But that movie is very definitely would not pass muster today. But it goes to show you just the remarkable shift in how much people care about other people's sexual peccadillos and shit. Like one of the main plot lines in that movie is that that Ryan Reynolds' character wants to fuck the hostess, the chick that is the hostess at their. It's basically an Applebee's. I mean, it has some other name there, but he wants to fuck the hostess, and she's like 17 and just about to turn 18 in a month or something. And he wants to seal the deal, right? That's one of the sidelines. Another one of the side things is there's an ongoing competition amongst the guys and the girls to flash their genitals at one another at work in various poses and ways. It goes on and on, man. It really is just like they should re-release it and call it canceled or cancel bait. You know what I mean? Because that it's crazy. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm fucking. You don't remember this stuff? You have seen it? Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else is in it that would be like iffy. There's, I mean, like, yeah, I just think like, because it's basically like if you take the movie, if I were to tell you what the plot of the movie is, I would say a guy has kind of a crisis when he realizes his youth has passed him by and he's done nothing. And he finds himself working in a restaurant with no way out, basically, right? And so what that means is you got a dude that's like well into his college aged years, hanging out with and working around a lot of fucking like teenagers and shit, and other people like him who are in suspended animation and acting like a bunch of teenagers and hormonal fucking, you know, bullshit. And it's about him deciding that he's gonna grow up, I guess, is really what they try and make the plot of the movie about. But ultimately, it's a movie about a fucking restaurant and all the crazy sexual harassment that goes on in there. There's a million 3-letter F-bombs. Oh yeah, yeah. No, they just call each other fag constantly. It's just like it's like what happens if you lose the game, which is if you look at somebody else's genitals while they're displaying them, you get called a fag and you get punched. And so they say it like, yeah, you're probably right, like 90 million times. I remember Justin Long being funny. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That is true. That is a good one. If you have a friend, right, that is a piece of shit at restaurants and is rude to waiters or fast food workers and stuff, you don't even have to show them the whole movie. Just find the clip of the rude woman that orders in the Applebee's and what happens to her food as a result of her rudeness. And you know, if that doesn't change the way that that person orders forever and always, then there's really nothing. They just like eating gooch hair and fucking dandruff, I guess. Cause yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah. Andy Milonakis is in it as one of the bus boys, like a white gangsta rapper guy that just wants to do whippets in the freezer, but he's really like supposed to be the bus boy. Yeah. It's an interesting time capsule movie. It's not a great film, but it's an interesting time capsule to show you how much sensibilities have changed in the last 20 years. And if you think about it, sensibilities have changed kind of differently, I think, than you would expect. Because if you look at like American history, right, I feel like what is allowed in to be discussed and what is considered proper to be discussed in media has gone through a huge arc of, you know, transgressive stuff being allowed more and more. So you couldn't even have the insinuation of cleavage in your movies, and then, you know, now there's full titties out in the 80s, and by the 90s there's full simulated sex scenes and shit. 2000s, the advent of, you know, everybody really getting on the internet. You got internet porn blossoming, you know what I mean? You got all this fucking like comedy that would have gotten like Lenny Bruce arrested for delivering in public, and now it's just like the raunchiest you can say whatever you want, you know, nothing's off the table, everything's funny, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden moral puritanism is back again when it comes to comedy. You can't make a movie where there's a dude that's 22 that wants to bang a 17-year-old, because everybody would just I don't know, like cry on Twitter for fucking 90 years over that, I guess. You can't do a fucking movie about dudes that show each other their genitals at work, because oh my god, it triggered my fucking PTSD from when that happened to me at work, or whatever you know what I mean? We've just gotten to a point now where that type of comedy wouldn't wipe, doesn't fucking pass. And it's interesting to see things go like, all right, well, let's go back a little bit, a little more Puritan with it. It's like, okay. The 90s were a strange time for gay representation in movies and stuff, kind of tasteless ribbing, but seemingly more progressive than the current landscape. I don't know if I'd say more progressive than the current landscape, but I would say less presumptive of the delicacy of gay people. I would say that. Like, gay people are just as strong as anybody else, right, when it comes to being able to take their lumps and laugh at themselves in certain ways. And I think that there was a lot of representation in the 90s and early 2000s for gay characters. A lot of them were caricaturized. But I don't think gay people really cared that much. You know what I mean? I think nowadays it would be way. I mean, it is way different, and it's almost like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Slightly insulting in its presumptiveness of what a gay person can handle being said about them, or how, you know what I mean? How you have to handle a story involving a gay person. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know if I'd say there was a lot. And my issue with today is more the audience. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't got a problem with there being gay people, trans people, people of all different racial backgrounds and stuff in movies. What I don't like is when every movie has to use that character as a platform for preaching about social inequality or whatever the fuck. It's fine if that's part of your movie, but not every goddamn movie needs like aggressively positive representation. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. It doesn't make any movie better for me, and it's not the way to do it. There are ways to positively represent without relying on what have become tropes. So, But once again, I don't think it's anywhere near as widespread as a lot of people make it out to be, in terms of, like, there being a movie that's just a little too socially overconscious or whatever. I think it happens, but I don't think it's like every fucking film like some people assume. You think people assuming offense over other groups of people has gone too far, or do you think you should speak up? I think people assuming offense over other groups of people have gone too far. I mean, it just depends, right? Like, this was not a concept. Like, dude, back in the 90s, if me and my friends were hanging around and there was somebody that was doing some racist fucking bullshit, they were gonna get checked. So that really hasn't changed. You know what I mean? So I think you just kind of, like, judge it on its merits, right? Like, I don't know. Take individuals as they are. Don't assume people's intent until you know. Give people the benefit of the doubt, maybe, would be a nice thing to see come back. Because I don't know. Like, I don't want to. I don't know if I want to descend down the rabbit hole, but I just feel like there's a lot of presumptiveness of people being emotionally soft these days. I'm not saying emotionally soft is a pejorative. I'm just saying presuming everyone is, and maybe like worrying too much about the people that are hypersensitive. It seems to me that one of the balancing acts that a hypersensitive person has to do is learning how to not be so fucking sensitive about every little thing, right? I don't know how that happens when everybody's catering to the hypersensitivity, You seen the Philip Seymour Hoffman drag queen movie? That is... I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. I have seen it. I just can't remember the name of the movie. It's not even grace. How about the benefit of the doubt? Have you guys thought about that? What happened to the benefit of the doubt? What happened to giving people the benefit of the doubt? It's just gone now. It's just gone. You know what I mean? People are in such a rush to judge another person for a blip of something that they said, right?
Screenshot wars.
Yep. It's just... I don't know. I just think common courtesy is one thing. Over-policing people's language is another thing. Assuming people are fragile is an entirely other thing. And I don't see really the need to worry too much about the fragility of other people. I presume people can handle a whole lot more than my mouth can dish out. So I say what I want. This culture has people walking on eggshells constantly. Oh, I feel it. You know what I mean? It's I think empowering to people. I think it's really collected to those human flesh search engines that we covered in a DFF episode recently, where in China, people started using the internet to coordinate real world observation of, and sometimes punishment of, people who transgressed against society in one way or another outside of the criminal purview. So, people would get together and find somebody who was being rude or obnoxious, or, who was being predatory in some way that was just, around the legal bend, and they would get together, find this person, expose them, get them in trouble, punish them in some way, right? I think that mentality is so enticing, um, especially here in the United States, where your power to affect anything in your life is diminished almost to zero for a lot of people. And feeling like you can reach out and destroy another fucking person or take part in destroying another person without giving them the benefit of investigatory fucking rigors, without anything, just taking someone's word, right? They're just people just line up around the fucking block to be ready to just pull the trigger on that shit. And it's like, what happened to common decency? What happened to the benefit of the doubt? It's just gone. You know what I mean?
We're back to the oldie lynch mobs.
Yeah, yeah. It really is. It's lynch mob mentality. You know, run amok again. And you know, I've never taken part in it, and I have no desire to take part in it going forward. And I'm hoping that soon there's like a generational shift against it, where people are tired of treating each other like they're fucking under the microscope 24/7, 365.
Even if it's just out of sheer fatigue.
Yep. It's 100% what I believe it is, too. It's empowering for people. They don't have to get up off their asses for a second, but they get to feel powerful. Yeah. Like to feel like they reached out and touched the world in a positive way. And so somebody said faggot 10 years ago. Let's get them, boys. You know what I mean?
And your biggest cancellation wasn't even intentional.
What?
Going back to that Milo thing, you weren't even trying to cancel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sad truth of it.
You didn't even know he was going to CPAC.
Nope.
You barely were aware that he even worked for Breitbart.
Yeah. Real power would be uniting as a people. Yeah. I mean, you want to take care of some problems. Let's talk about your employer. Let's talk about the government that represents you. Like,
yeah, let's
come on.
Cancel the employers, man.
Yeah.
Do all the exposés on that shit.
Yeah.
If you put all that internet drama channel shit towards like actual companies and what's going on.
I mean, the world may be a different place. Should doxing be criminalized? Australia? Oh yeah. I'll tell you, like, yeah, absolutely. Especially like doxing with malicious intent or whatever. It's one thing to, accidentally say something that reveals where somebody's at, and it's another thing entirely to maliciously go like, "Hey, so and so stays over here. Go get him." You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Like whoever. I know there was like an issue with Nick Fuentes recently where he was doxxed. He got in trouble for macing some bitch that showed up to his house, which he shouldn't have done that. But then, like, just a few weeks later, some dude with a gun shows up screaming his name, trying to kick his door down and shit. Yeah, whoever released his fucking address should be accountable. Absolutely. Should be held accountable. I came up with 5 issues I want the left to unite around. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. But is it okay to dox CEOs and politicians? Well, I mean, at a certain level, those people dox themselves just because they're such high-profile people.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure the address of certain politicians is just like in a directory of public records.
Right. So it's just like, and CEOs, like doxing isn't just where you live, it's where you work. Well, if you're the fucking public CEO of a giant public company, people know where you be going to work at.
Yeah, like the people making conspiracies about like the Luigi guy, like ultimately it didn't take that many pieces to put together to figure out the CEO would be going to a big company conference.
No. It's it's just like at a certain level of notoriety, and especially like public service notoriety or big business notoriety, where you are at any given hour of the day is going to be known, just because, like, look at how many fucking um, go right now and search for celebrity houses, and look at how many fucking trash articles there are about here's where fucking so and so lives, here's so and so's mansion, here's so and so's mansion.
The army of press too.
Yeah.
Press is always at every
Just hang out around where they work, see where they eat at, see where they travel to. It's not hard to find out where a person is at when they're a big, open public figure. And when that part of that public service is government or running a company, you kind of know where they're at. So, the guy in the sauna today was ranting about Jews and Elon Musk. Everyone just waited for him to leave before saying that guy's insane. No, I mean, it really is. That's another thing. But the problem is that in a desperation to remain what they see as culturally relevant, the traditional media has latched on to fucking social media like it's the God's gospel. When you read X, you're seeing like a tenth of the globe's fucking basic positions on things, and maybe way less than that, right? It's a group of people who are hyper online, hyper autistic about politics and social issues, and are going to say fucking crazy wild things about each other constantly every second of every day. Most people don't give a fuck what's going on X. Most people never visit it. No, most people don't read it. If they do, they don't participate in any of that shit. They just use it to talk to their friends or follow Hostess so they can get free Twinkies, okay? That's most of social media. Like 1% to 2% of what people might think, but it's been so heavily adopted by the culture and so heavily adopted by traditional media, treated like it's the gospel truth, like it's a running poll of what people care about.
The scariest thing is when like journalists will just run with a story, but the source being a tweet.
Yeah, the source is a tweet. It's fucking like that. Just absolutely defies journalistic verisimilitude.
It's basically the equivalent of like someone wrote it on a post-it note and stuck it to the door, so it must be true.
I guess. Wait, I can get a free Twinkies? Yeah.
I'm not saying you can, but you can try.
Yeah, you really can.
At Hostess and be like, yeah, I want a Twinkie. Can I get a Twinkie, Hostess? And they'd probably be like, here's a coupon.
Yep. Renewables, free college, university, vocational training. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take you guys outside and have a cigarette. What's that for vocational training? Training you in the vocation of smoking a cigarette outside. Okay. Grab this. My little smoking spot over here on the side of the hotel. Okay, universal healthcare infrastructure renewal, mass transit, high-speed rail. Well, that should be bundled into the same thing. Infrastructure renewal, eye towards mass transit, should include your high-speed rail project, replacement of fossil fuel energy generation with renewables and free college. Okay, yeah. I mean, those are pretty fucking bog standard leftist positions, honestly. And I don't think we're going to get the Democratic Party to coalesce around anything like that in the next 20 years. So it's all going to have to be done outside of your normal political activism. But I don't disagree with any of it. Elimination of fossil fuels and free college and stuff has been a pretty strong leftist position, at least amongst the electorate, for my whole life. So how goes the relocation? Slow but sure, my friend. Slow but sure. We're here. We're moving. Waiting for our stuff to be delivered, and then we're good. So. Oh, yeah, it's nice to have moved. What happened to my RV idea? I think one of the problems with sharing ideas that I have with people in this space is that a lot of you like latch on to that shit like I'm gonna do it tomorrow. They're like, oh, Paul's buying an RV in your mind. It's like you realize that that's like $300,000 that I'm gonna be financing if I were to get the type of RV that I was talking about for a couple of weeks. I'm probably not gonna be doing that anytime soon. Did you get rid of a lot of stuff or just moved everything? Got rid of a lot of stuff. Moved the stuff that was worth moving and got rid of a lot of shit. No need to be so defensive, Paul. Get your ass banned, bitch. Show you defensive. Watch this. seems like it, at least. Pocket world. With a pocket. Where are we? Who are we? Yeah. Renting is another thing that would fall under that. Like, I don't feel like I recognize the country I live in anymore. It makes no sense to me anymore. It's made sense to me my whole life, and now it makes 0 sense. And I don't understand what happened, why it needs to make 0 sense. Ugh. Who decided the apostrophe should be right next to enter? Bro, whoever did sucks. Whoever did sucks. I'll see you guys later.